There's a moment in your life when you step into your room, close the door, and feel the world finally loosen its grip on you. And what makes this moment stick is how quietly it arrives. No big scene, no dramatic shift, just a soft exhale you didn't realize you were holding. You pause, maybe with your hand still hovering over the doorknob, and something inside you settles in a way it never does anywhere else. Because home, for you, isn't just a place, it's a boundary, a shelter, a tiny pocket of control in a world that moves too fast, asks too much, and rarely slows down long enough for you to catch up. Most people think loving home means you're antisocial, or lazy, or uninterested in the world, but for you, it's something entirely different. You notice this most on days when the world feels a little too loud, when conversations pile up, when plans clash, when even small interactions feel like they're tugging pieces of you in every direction. You come home, drop your keys, and the silence hits you like cool air after stepping out of a crowded room. Your mind unclenches, your thoughts fall back into place. Here's where it gets weird. You don't love home because nothing's happening there. You love it because everything you need does happen there. Grounding, clarity, peace, and that subtle sense of control you lose the second you step outside. You think better in your own space. You feel more like yourself. You breathe deeper. And beneath all of that sits something even quieter. Safety. Not safety from danger, safety from pressure. Because out there, the world rewards speed. It rewards loudness. It rewards constant motion. But inside your home, you get to move at the pace your mind actually needs. A subtle pressure builds behind your thoughts whenever you're out for too long. Not panic, just a quiet awareness that you're drifting away from your center. You feel it at social gatherings when conversations start overlapping. You feel it in crowded spaces when the energy hits too many layers of your attention at once. You feel it even in small moments. Standing in a store line, waiting for someone to finish a sentence, scrolling through noise you never asked for. Most people never notice this part. You don't just prefer being home. Your nervous system recalibrates there. The outside world might drain you, but home restores you. And this restoration is so real you can sense it physically, like stepping into a warm room after being caught in cold wind. Here's the twist. People assume homebodies are running from discomfort. But you're not running from anything. You're running towards something, toward a version of yourself that can actually think clearly. Because home isn't isolation, it's clarity. It's where you can hear your own voice without interruption. It's where your emotions stop competing with the world's noise. It's where your attention becomes your own again. And this craving for clarity shows up in small behaviors you barely notice. You sit in the same spot on the couch because it feels right. You tidy your room not to impress anyone, but because organization quiets the chaos in your head. You hold on to routines others might call boring because repetition to you is grounding. What most people don't see is the emotional intelligence behind all of this. You've learned to understand your limits. You've learned the difference between real connection and forced presence. You've learned that comfort isn't a weakness, it's a compass. But here's the deeper layer. Loving home also means you've built an inner world strong enough to hold you. You don't need constant stimulation to feel alive. You don't need nonstop company to feel understood. You don't need noise to feel connected. You've found meaning in stillness. And that stillness is something you carry like a private language, one most people don't speak. Yet there's another contrast that matters. The world outside pulls you outward, home pulls you inward. The world demands attention, home gives it back. The world floods you with sensations, expectations, and responsibilities. Home lets you sort through them one by one without the pressure of being watched. Once you see this, you start recognizing how deeply your love for staying home shapes your identity. You're introspective, sensitive in ways you don't always admit, and far more aware of your inner world than the average person. Your space is your mirror. Your habits are your language. Your silence is your reset button. And here's the surprising part. People who love staying home aren't closed off. They're more open internally than most people ever get to be externally. They don't avoid life, they just choose the version of life that feels honest. But the real twist is deeper. Your attachment to home isn't about the walls or the furniture or the quiet routines. It's about the person you become within that space, the version of you that feels unmasked, unpressured, and fully present. That version is worth protecting, and staying home is how you protect it. So what does all of this reveal? It shows that your love for staying home isn't laziness or fear, it's self-awareness. You understand what drains you and what fills you. You know where your clarity comes from. You recognize that peace isn't optional for you, it's necessary. And that awareness doesn't make you strange, it makes you grounded. You're not avoiding the world. You're choosing the environments that let you stay connected to yourself. You're not hiding from life. You're building a life that feels honest. Once you see this, you can't unsee it. Your home isn't your escape, it's your anchor. And the more you understand the psychology behind that, the more you start realizing something empowering. You're not too quiet or too withdrawn or too comfortable at home. You're someone who knows where their clarity lives, where their energy returns, and where their inner world makes sense. And that isn't a flaw. It's a strength wrapped in stillness, a truth you've been living long before you ever had the words for it, a truth that feels like coming home every single time.